What is going on, YouTube-averse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about Stone Temple Pilots, one of the greatest bands to come out of the 1990s and still out there doing their thing, sadly without Scott Weiland, rest in peace. But yeah, this was really hard to whittle down, but these are my personal favorite top 5 songs of theirs. Let's get right to it. At number 5, Big Empty off of 1994's album Purple. A lot of people heard this for the first time actually on their Unplugged session on MTV, which I thought was a brilliant way to introduce a brand new song that we weren't going to get for almost like a year out. People were waiting for this thing. Of course, it also showed up on the Crow soundtrack. But yeah, just such a cool mid-tempo rocker that's, starts out essentially acoustic, which was, again, a great way to bring it to light on MTV Unplugged. But then when those guitars come in on the chorus, man, it goes from a whisper to a scream, and it's just got such a catchy, hooky chorus, that time to take her home. And then, of course, the conversations kill. Oh, man, it's just wonderful. Scott Weiland just showing why his vocals were some of the best in the business at that time. And yeah, just a perfect STP song. And that's only at my number 5. So now at number 4, Down, the lead-off track from their 1999 album, number 4. This was their 4th album, of course. Man, what a great rocker. And, of course, they had many throughout their career, like Sex Type Thing, Unglued, but for me, this is like their best, just all-out rocker. That dun 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 riff and the syncopated drumming is so good. And then, of course, the weird kind of ambiguous lyrics like "nice to meet you," "nice to know me." It is so fun. And then when Weiland gets into that scream, man, it just goes wild. And this is one of the few songs also, Dean DeLeo, I think is just, he's such a tasteful guitarist, especially in the 90s when you had, Pearl Jam guitarists like Mike McCready just going wild guitar solos on every song. He really held back a lot, and I feel like he really went for it on this guitar solo. He didn't do a lot of guitar solos, period, and it was really nice to hear him just go wild and show what he was capable of. Such a fun track. I absolutely loved it. I felt like it was one of the best rockers of that year, and that's really saying something, because late 90s, man, a lot of great stuff. Can't wait till we get to that top 5, but yeah, just at number 4. So now at number 3, Creep from Core from 1992, the debut album. Another mid-tempo rocker that is essentially acoustic for the most part, but just the way this is played, the chord progressions are brilliant. I love the pre-chorus leading into the chorus, the whole thing where he says, "I'm half the man I used to be," and then the background vocals by Rob DeLeo, who I think is really kind of like always the MVP of STP, if that makes any sense, because, he was such a good background vocalist, as well as the bass fills that he does are so, just like his brother, tasteful. I'm going to use that word a lot. But he has these little fills in places that you don't expect on the bass, and it really enhances the song at all times. But yeah, I love this song so much because, there's some dark storytelling in there of, Bobby's got a gun, or whatever he's talking about. And you can picture these things that he's talking about so perfectly, and the melody is through the roof. And I'd say it rivals Radiohead's Creep as being like neck and neck as far as some of the best songs with that title, which there's a lot of. But man, this was just fantastic, and that's just my number 3. So now at number 2. Interstate Love Song off of Purple. I almost had this at my number one because whenever this comes on, I'm just like, oh yeah, man. I just love the chord progression on this thing. It's so cool. You know, with that C sharp minor to the E, it's in the E major, which is so cool when the electric comes in and does that riff, that and it's almost got like so many different genres in one, because it almost feels like it has like this loose country vibe to it as well. But, you know, it's totally alternative rock. And yeah, the vocals are great. The lyrics are fantastic. And, you know, God, you got to love this song. It's like STP. It's really like a pop song at its heart, and you can see why it was so well received. I think it's probably, I would say most people would probably put it in their top two, no doubt, because it's just so awesome. You know, leaving on a southern train only yesterday. You lie. So great, man. Awesome. So that's just my number two. Now at number one. Plush from Core, had to do it. I mean, you know, it's one of those songs that just never gets old. And even though, you know, many people would say like, oh, come on, it's not their best song. I really think it is. And it's the one that hooked me from the get-go. I remember listening to it on my Walkman back in the day over and over again. You know, in that time frame, it was a lot of STP and Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Just the grunge took over the world. And these guys got on the train, and this was a perfect song that broke through. I don't think it was the first single from that album, but it was the one that just stood out because the guitar chords on this thing, I still don't even remember exactly how to play it, but some really intricate stuff that really stood out, I think. And you know, it was weird, the lyrics about you know, the dogs that smell her and stuff. It makes no sense, but it was so catchy, the way that Scott Weiland sang this, and so passionate, and just all the different pieces, the chorus and the pre-chorus and the bridge. It's just, there was nothing like it at the time, and I think it still stands the test of time, even though I feel like production wise they got a little better on their following album. Core sounds a bit more like late 80s early 90s rock on the drums especially, but you know, Brendan O'Brien was kind of growing as a producer with these guys as they went, and you know, it's still, as much as I don't think it's perfect in that way, it's a perfect song and deserves to be number one. So that is my top five. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What would be your top five? If you're so bold, leave me a top 10. I mean, there's so many great songs. Again, like on number four, the song Atlanta is a beautiful album closer, and Sour Girl was a great track off of that. So many other great tracks off of Purple and Core, and you know, Tiny Music was a really cool album as well. So a lot of songs that I probably missed. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And guys, we got top fives every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.